This is a battle in Napoleon Total War 3, requested by no one else but Stona, who has been asking me to do one of these battles. So here it is, Stona, specifically for you. There you are, Danish army. Looks sexy. Looking good. So in this map there is a fort which is controlled by the enemy. But as soon as we shall see, they will abandon it for no apparent reason. Apollo, in the meanwhile, is here in the town trying to get this choke point, because in Napoleon Total War 3, obviously, you have to capture choke points in order to win the battle on points. So he's marching slowly into the city, picking defensive positions, because this Austrian army could attack him in the city, although they are walking backwards, which is odd. I am here in the back, slowly making my way towards the town as well to aid Apollo and Stona. And in the meanwhile, here is a random dude called Pacifist, and he will also be on his way to aid us in this battle, of course. He also has some cavalry over here, trying to sneak behind enemy lines, maybe? We shall see. So we already captured the town hall over here. Apollo did. Some Voitigeurs, yes. And indeed, like I said earlier, the Austrians are abandoning the fort, which is really weird, because this fort is perfect to place artillery on. You can defend it really well because it has some elevation, so everyone who will be standing here will have to fire upwards. Well, you can fire downwards. And you can also put troops over here to fire at multiple angles. It's the ideal place to defend, and it has a choke point in it, a 2-pointer. So why they decided to abandon it, I have absolutely no clue. We were absolutely surprised to see this, but it will make for a very interesting battle, not what you expect of it. So there's some cavalry from Apollo trying to scout the fort, because we can't see these troops. Oh no, we can see these troops, never mind. But yeah, still he's scouting. Meanwhile, my troops here are scouting the fort as well to see if I can place a artillery on them, because over here Stona has already encountered some Russians, so he has to set up fighting formations. Meanwhile, I was trying to screen off the enemy from possibly like intercepting Stona here through the fort with some of my cavalry units, but that won't be needed because they retreated, obviously. And now Stona will try to make a push across the river here. He's already putting in some, what's it? Finske troops to try and gain the raft here. Setting up his artillery as well to support here. Oh, and he's already firing. Is he aiming at the general? Oh, that would be. Oh, Stona, that's low, man. That's low. Also here we have Apollo, who charged him with the C7 cavalry against some Hungarian line infantry. Yes, and they can't form square. So in this mod, when you can form square, you see like a little square in front of the unit name, and these guys can't. So they're losing quite a lot of men in that charge by a really soft cavalry unit, which is not good at all. So, and meanwhile, here Apollo has brought some C2 cavalry, which like the heavy cavalry. Cuirassiers, Orléans will be very good. So now they are charging to this blob of men. Here you can see the dead already. It's pretty terrible. Here more cavalry is coming. Yeah, these men can't form square, so they will just be devastated by this charge, who is going wide to take as many units out as possible. Some shots getting fired. Look at this. And they're dropping fast. Oh, there's another unit coming. Oi. A lot of Austrians getting slaughtered right here. Oh, and another unit. Apollo's going for it. Oh, they managed to get a lot of shots on those. That's good. Yeah, the morale's already starting to waver. Oh, they broke. Oh, definitely. Last charge, bit of an unfortunate one. These ones, the C2s, are doing some damage over here. They already broke 2 units. Oh, and now of course, yeah, now he's running up his infantry as well to catch the Austrians in their retreat without any support from the other players. There will be another Austrian player and an Englishman. And this is the Den Helder expedition, combined Russian UK army. So you can see the troops here with the square, and then it says UK. And if it's a Russian unit, it will say Russia. You see Stoner is slowly moving up his troops. So there's these surprise units here against 3 Russian musketeers and a UK Coldstream Foot Guard. So that's really huge. The artillery is excellently placed though to wreak havoc among the troops. It's howitzers, so they won't be do very much damage, but they will destroy the morale of the units once they get attacked by Stoner. Yeah, so here a lot of Austrian units had to were fleeing. Now some hussars are coming from the Austrian side. Some hussars just trying to make sure that Apollo won't try such a daring move again. And in the meanwhile, yeah, he's pushed out of the city already to take the fort as soon as possible to make sure that the enemy doesn't capture it again. Meanwhile, here I am with my artillerie à cheval, which is horse artillery. I will put it on here and start helping Stoner in his fight against the Russians. Let's see what the other player is up to. So he's walking across the road here on the right of the city. And he's going to engage the enemies over here to try and cross there. So we will be trying an extreme flanking maneuver whilst Apollo is beating up the Austrians over here. And whilst Stoner is halting the Den Helder expedition. And my army is slowly arriving as well. They're really slow because they're not walking on a road, so they have to cross an open territory, which is still faster than the woods, but it's a lot slower than walking on a road. The Voltigeurs, which are the light infantry, they are quite fast though, so they will reinforce my artillery over here, together with some cavalry units, to make sure that this unit here doesn't get destroyed. I don't know why I haven't unlimbered them yet, but that will come eventually. So yes, now we can see the Austrian units over here, standing on the river bank, trying to withhold the army over here from crossing. The thing is, they're really spread thin, and in this mod, if your line is spread thin like this, they will be blasted easily. They will flee really quick. You want to have them more in blobs, but not in squares, but more like this, you know, a few lines thick. That's the best. So Apollo is now setting his artillery up as well. Oh, here. The artillery is placed into the horses. So I'm gonna limber them up again, put them up more in front, and then unlimber them again, because I wouldn't dare shoot at the horses, for obvious reasons. And the Austrians made it to the riverbank safely. So they abandoned the fort and they're gonna defend the river over here. Which is crossable everywhere. It's not like this is a river crossing battle where you can only engage on these points. Oh, we see that Stoner and the Danes have already engaged the Russians and the English. With the cavalry charges and infantry here. Already a Russian unit routing. Another one is a square. These are the Coldstream Guards, so taking them on in square while shooting them in a line is a really effective way of dealing with those, because they are elite infantry. So Stoner is wrapping up some good kills here. He will probably lose this Dragoon unit, but if he can get a Coldstream Foot Guard and some line infantry, that would be really worth it. So that'd be great. And my Voltigeurs protecting the artillery, which is now limbered up again and will be more upfront. So here, this French player, he has scouted the area, and now he's making towards the river crossing. So this river is not crossable. So here you have to have specific crossing paths, which are here and over there, all the way. So putting some units here means they can put them here and maybe shoot at some infantry which is positions over here. But we shall see. There's also some very heavy cavalry over here, probably held in reserve. but they can reinforce the battle real quick. So this is not a very good position to have your heavy cavalry. This would more be a position for some light cavalry to make sure that you're not getting flanked. So the French guy's still in colonnes, because in a colonne you walk faster. But he will probably spread out a bit more once he's here and engage these very, very thin German lines. Die Deutsche Linieninfanterie. Let's see what's going on over here. So yeah, the fort is now in our hands. And here are some other cuirassier units from Johann von Liechtenstein, which is a very good unit. But now my artillery is up and running. This one's still a bit bugged. So I decided to shred this unit from the side, whilst Stoner will be playing the defensive game with his cavalry. I'm also supporting with some C5s, which is not the best, but they're pretty good. They will lose against the C2, but with artillery support, look, there we go, that was a nice shot. You saw them being blasted. So they're dropping quickly. And I also push up my voltigeurs, so maybe get some shots off on them, which would be really nice. Apollo, meanwhile, is making sure that the fort is secure before he pushes up. He's waiting for some reinforcements from me, which are on their way. They're still slowly, but once they get to the road, they will be a lot faster. There we go. Yes, the Austrian cavalry already 10 men down, 14. The Russians have retreated from here. Look at this. Look how many casualties they suffered, whilst the Danish had nearly none. So that was a really unfair fight from the Russians, so they decided to retreat, which was probably the wiser option. Oh, they tried to cross the river over here, but they're walking back again, probably because of the artillery fire and the cavalry over here. And this unit has already lost more than 20 men just by standing here because of the artillery. This is not a good way to position your cavalry, especially when it's getting shot. You want to make sure that or you use this one very effectively, or you get it out, because this is a really expensive unit. You don't want it to get shot. Okay, let's see. Oh, over here the battle has erupted. Oh, yeah. What the hell happened here? The French have crossed the river successfully. They've broken the very thin Austrian lines. Oh, here they used some cavalry. No, that's infantry as well. The enemy used the cavalry, but they're getting shot now because of these units. So he's a very aggressive push. He marched in Cologne still, even though the enemy is pretty much all around him. And then he made these little blobs here. So he has forced his way through the river, and he's taken a defensive position. Can take a defensive position already. Oh, here come the cavalry, the allies though. Most of these units can form square, but these cannot, so these will probably break. There you go. They're charging into these units, already starting to waver, but these units are just forming square, shooting into this cavalry block. This is a mess. This is an absolute mess. Meanwhile, these units on this side, they are engaging the troops over here. Doing quite some damage. And now the cavalry, oh, they go into, yes. These can form square as well, so will probably break under the Dragoon charge. And here we already see quite some Austrian troops running away. More cavalry coming in. C1s, these are the best, the most heavy cavalry there are. Come on. See, he is now rushing with his troops to get back on. Oh, he had a huge part of his army here. That's probably why he got dealt here so quickly, because his army is not in reinforcement range, so he can focus his entire army on just a section. So these are probably cavalry from the other Austrian player, the ones which had abandoned the fort. This means that the French player can deal with the army in multiple engagements whilst having his entire army over here. So he has been very aggressive and paid off very well. After he has done a lot of damage to this cavalry units. It's not terrible, they're still fully operational, but it's quite a loss, especially since they only managed to break one unit. Yes, only one unit is broken, so it wasn't a very effective cavalry skirmish at all, and the French are still pushing on. Look, they're back in Cologne even. Cologne. They're just not afraid of getting shot by artillery now. They're just relentlessly pushing on this side, trying to help out Apollo and me, who are now positioned over here. No, only Apollo still. My troops are still on the way. Yeah, meanwhile over here, the situation is still calm. Some shots have been lost earlier. I think the Cuirassier unit here has been destroyed now. Some very heavy cavalry is coming this way as well. Apollo still owning the fort, waiting for my reinforcements to push. But on this side, the French player is relentlessly pushing. Look at him, he's walking in column, straight in front of the enemy, not afraid of anything. He just ignores this army over here and just pushes over here. Cavalry on the other bank of the river. Yeah, crossing, getting behind, breaking them. Yeah, so the Austrian army has no units that can form square, so they will get wrecked by the cavalry. French are way more equipped against this. Although these are a lot of units who can... Ah, yes. These can form square, but these ones who are on the cavalry side can. That's very well positioned. Here we go, the charge. Look how fast the morale drops, how fast the men drop. So there they go, they run. You can hear the drums sound retreat. Look how quickly he just forms a line, shoots. Oh, and there come the cavalry of the Austrians again. Again, a mass block, but they're charging into the squares. Where are they? Yes, they are probably. Either way, they have to go through, so they will suffer great losses. This is a very smart placement of the squares. Because if the cavalry walks through, they get shot to two sides, so the cavalry can't go to the rest of the zone. It's absolutely great. Great work. Here we see the first sight of the British army, peninsular British army, and this line of Austrians has broken already under the weight of these line infantry and the two cavalry units. Yeah, the cavalry attack has already been broken off because they just stand a chance against the squares, and the French push just happens again. Oh, yeah, you can see the movements. They're going towards here. Probably going for the big thing. Meanwhile, Apollo is just standing here waiting for this French player to do his job of killing everyone until we arrive to finish the job. He has put his cavalry on the other side of the riverbank as well now, probably to engage these ones. Although this is some really heavy cavalry, so he probably won't. Well, there's some Austrian cavalry infantry coming in the back as well. So I don't know how the French player will react on that. So far it seems like he's just marching on without carrying. He's left his army behind. Seems like he wants to shoot on the cavalry. Where's he? Oh, he probably wants to get to the road to go quicker. Let's see. Completely ignoring the Austrian units. Also the ones that came back from routing over here. They're not important to him. He just wants to rush. Just to put on the gas. Now over here we see some movements as well. So this Austrian army is going to reinforce the Russian English expedition to Den Helder. So Vortigers doing a lot of damage on these UK foot. My Vortigers over here trying to refuse the enemy any access to the other side of the river. Some infantry units coming to make sure that the Austrians don't try something nasty. And the artillery over here well positioned to deal with these Russian units. Doing quite some damage. Not a whole lot, but they're doing alright. Finally, my troops have arrived on this side of the town, making a defensive position. This time of the battle, I didn't know that this dude was going in so extremely hard. So I'm quite relaxed, not pushing at all. Same as Apollo, who is now pushing more and more. Yes, this French player has reached the road, and now he's engaging the English after defeating basically two Austrian armies. One of infantry, one of cavalry. And he just continues to rout these cavalry units and these infantry units who come back from routing. who came back from the other side of the river over here. And they're still going, they're still trying to get back. But they're too slow. They're not walking on the road as well, they're walking on the land, which is odd. They should walk on the road over here. Makes them a lot more faster. Yeah, Apollo also has put his Vertigus over here. Probably gonna do some damage on these foot out from Cumberland. Yeah. Meanwhile, me and Stone are here being passive because we're not gonna attack some very well defended position. We are just waiting for the conclusion on this side of the battlefield before we make any moves. And seeing that we're doing very well. Here, look, these English men, they're retreating now, but they're getting wrecked. Look at this. This already 30 men down. It's 20 men down. These French troops just keep on pushing, unrelentless. Our men are quite fatigued though. Yeah, he's not even committing his full army. He's holding a lot of reserve. He has the rear guard, making sure that the units from behind here are fleeing as well. Yeah, he's just destroying the line, and now he can flank around here as well. He's probably going to break the entire British army, especially now that Apollo and me are attacking as well. So he can't use these units to reinforce over here, because then he will get attacked in the rear. So whatever he does, it's wrong. Because the Austrian player has allowed the French player to cross so easily. Now he's just wrecking havoc on the enemy lines. Austrians getting even more ridden reinforcements, but they're not committing. They've learned a lesson from the last time. They're now trying where they're needed. Yeah. These French units are leaving this side of the battlefield. I don't know where they are going. I don't know if they have seen these units. They probably have, but decided to, you know, defend this one from the French. Yeah, he's retreating all the way. He's using discovery units to break this unit, who didn't form square, so will probably be destroyed. The square over here is doing some damage. Oh, the English cavalry and the Austrian cavalry fled. So that means that the line infantry is still alive. Marvelous. Here's the French general, Jean Lon, one of the best marshals Napoleon had. Yeah, the English fleeing for their lives. So we decided not to push here because the French are pushing here and the English are retreating. So we decided to focus our full attention on river crossing here because that's where the troops are. But we did decide to use these cavalry we have over here to just play a bit with the English, make sure their artillery is in use. These are Apollo's cavalry, by the way, not mine. So if they make mistakes, not my fault. This one unit is Apollo's as well. These are mine. You can see this is my cavalry. But Apollo's line is now advancing. As you can see, they're way longer than the British line, even though they're stretched out. So this won't be a very hard fight. Apollo can probably use these two units to make sure that the Austrians don't try anything cheeky. And here you can see the battle evolve really well. Like, we are holding the line, and this dude is just from the back, just wrapping them up. Some units try to come back from here, the army, but no, they're not gonna make it. Two of my units, they will cross a river over here. Because they saw these units retreating. Okay, I'll put them here. Just to fire on them. Yeah, over here we're not doing anything yet. We're just casually waiting it out. Because we know we're winning, so we're not pushing. Yeah, except with the Voticus, because they have a longer range than the Russians over here. So they'll just do some shooting damage and then retreat, you know. The side of the battlefield is entirely open. If the Austrians would have pushed, they would have cut off our army from Apollo's. Probably could have wrapped up Apollo's and part of my army. And then we could have focused on this. But they're also just playing defensive, even though their lines are getting destroyed over there. So this is a very unwise move, I think. Should push up, break these units. I know they can, even though it's quite a lot, but they can flank around. If they still had cavalry, they could have gone for the artillery over here, because we have no cavalry to defend this place, or to defend our artillery. We saw their passivity. We saw they were being passive, so we decided to just use our cavalry on other fronts, because they were not trying to attack at all. Meanwhile, we're just creating havoc over there. Especially the French player, Pacifist, it was called, I believe. Just fleeing units left and right. Wherever he comes, he's just destroying them. With the General Jean-Lan. Here Apollo's cavalry is doing some charges against these troops who didn't form square at all. And now we're pushing across the river to join our comrade. And now they're crossing the river. Finally, now it's basically too late because we already won this battle over here. So now Apollo is sending some reinforcements to deal with these troops. We're focusing on them with the artillery now as well. But yeah, this is already too late. This place should also move together with this one, but they're not. Or are they? No, it seems like they will reinforce this guy, but they will not be attacking, they will just reinforce because of the open space in here. But by now it's probably too late because it's basically 2 armies against 4 now. This player, Pacifist, he has really broken everything. He has been a true Napoleon. You're walking in Cologne. Walls being shot at. Walls enemy troops are just casually standing next to him. He doesn't mind, he's just blobbing them up and blobbing them out when it's needed. So yes, here's what's going on. The Austrian units have made a bridgehead, so these units can cross. But these units are not crossing, they're going back. Which is a wasted opportunity. These Russians are also repositioning. Oh, they're attacking even over here. Yeah, they're gonna be met with a lot of fire over here. Sean and me, we put up some of our best infantry units, the Grenadiers here. They're really good in melee, so we'll try to do some sneaky attack in a minute. Yes, here we go. So these 2 units, they will go in front whilst these guys are getting destroyed by artillery fire and just line infantry. We waited until these guys fired the shot, and now we're just charging in. I think that the Russians are getting desperate right now, so that's why they are attacking, even though they will have to fire uphill. You can see it. So you can see here come the French Grenadiers, the Swiss Grenadiers, I should say, the Swiss. And these Russian musketeers don't stand a chance because they're annihilated. So that means that this side of the battle, there's a gap in the middle on the river crossing, so they can use the elevation to shoot inside Stoner. And that means that the Russian army is cut in half, and it's basically over for them. So separately, without help of the other players over here, the Russian army is destroyed as well. Will be destroyed as well. French just pushing on and on and on. This line battle is also turning out for the worst because of some hussars who charged them in the back. These are a scout cavalry unit. I just charged them in because they can form square, and I was like, I will help Apollo out. And then they single-handedly started breaking the entire line. That's how bad these troops are against cavalry. Look at this. That's 4 units already broken. And the only casualties they got were friendly fire. They only lost 4. This entire line broken. The Austrians are now, by now, they're just, I think they're giving up. They're trying to retreat. But as you can see there, the Russian troops are routing as well. The Austrians here are walking back. Now they're trying to cross the river. Look, they're fighting into their own ranks. Yes, this is very militaristic. I will put my troops closer here to deal with these units, but by now it's too late. They can't do anything.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
So the Russians fell back, so the Danes couldn't exploit this. But now they're on the other side of the river, so they don't have the advantage of the riverbank over here. It will be a classic line battle. But the Danes do have artillery support, where the Russians don't, I believe. Yeah, this is a general. And their flank will be exposed as well, because I will be winning this side as well. I put in some cavalry, and these units, once again, they can form squares, so they will break easily. And that means that my troops can rush in and break the Russians. And over here, yeah, the entire English army is destroyed as well, same as the Austrian army. He's just walking past the general of the Austrians. He's not even trying, he's just rushing towards the Russians. They're advancing on both sides of the river, just clearing the armies up. Some odd reason the shooting sound doesn't work anymore.
General, sir. Now they must break.
I think it's this one. Yeah. So an attack order was given. Yeah, the Danes are involved in a brutal melee. That's Apollo's general. Yes. Russians are engaged in brutal melee. And now, yeah, they had to leave this flank all open. And now Stoner, he could move in, but he's not doing so apparently. Maybe he's too busy managing this. But look at this. This is my cavalry in here as well. We will attack units in the back right now. The last Austrian units over here crossing the river was getting shot at. There's just too many Frenchmen.
The entire unit is dead, sir.
The explosions look great. These units standing back to back, firing on different sides of the Russians who were broken in half. Here we see my cavalry unit charging in the back. Yeah, so Stoner is moving now. He's moving his troops up here against the side. He's not going from behind, he's going from the flank, which is it's also a good bit. But by now it doesn't really matter. That was well anyway. Look at this. You can see some final fights. Some grenadiers still. This is not a very nice line by Stoner, because he will get shot from the side, but he did reinforce over here, so you can fire on this unit. Still, it's not optimal, but it's okay. So what the other team could have done to win this battle was, first of all, hold on to this fort, because this fort is hard to take. It's not impossible, but it's hard. Oh, I forgot these two units over here. So take this fort, then rush towards this fort to help it, so then you have to battle around the town. And because one of the armies was going all the way this way, you could have pressed really hard whilst my troops, who were really slow, were advancing towards the town. So they could have overwhelmed Apollo over here by using the fort, taken this capture point, and then they could play the defend game. And a town is easy to defend, of course. So that's what they should have tried. Then later, when they stuck with this tactic, they should have been more aggressive on this side of the battlefield. They could have pushed the Great Open here, because there were basically no troops, and they had a lot of them at one point, and they didn't use them at all. For the Russians, yeah, the early engagement was not great, but they couldn't have done anything except holding the Danes where they are, so they can't reinforce. And then if they tried, they could punish them, but nothing else really. And the Austrian army on the way over there. They shouldn't have put half their army on the other side of the riverbank. They should have held it all together, compact. Don't spread them out in thin lines, because now they were so easily pushed over by the French. And for the English, yeah, the English should have started retreating immediately.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's this cavalry unit. He's going for my general. But I had the 2 infantry units that I forgot were here, so he's in no danger. I will tell these guys to front square as well. But yeah, now the Russian army is fleeing as well. So the battle is over. Technically, because it will take a long time, because there's some units here that came back from route which we need to clean up. Because the French player pushed it so hard, all his entire army is here. So I will fast forward.
We have killed their general, sir. Now they must break.
This is the... Oh, can't see it anymore. Oh yeah, well, of course we still have to take this building. There's 87 men in here. That will be no problem. These units can't even flee anywhere because there's French units cutting off their retreat. I see some C4 cavalry.
Our men are running, sir.
Dealing with these English troops. English general, still alive, fully healthy. My cavalry going here. He still has some artillery here. They just completely skipped past the artillery. They're walking, but they will get caught by these cavalry units. Really weird charge animation, bit of a lag as well. And here, just the amount of troops that died. You can see here that they were in thin lines. And the French, yeah, they just overwhelmed this meager defense force on the river crossing here. Whilst half of their troops were here. This was really unnecessary. A few troops, yes, or like maybe they could have put the infantry here so they could still reinforce, and then some scout cavalry here. So that if the French came here, they could just easily move around. And if the French were here, they could move these units around. This was undoable because now this army got destroyed before this army even got here. You know, just not a smart thing to do. You will see a pretty healthy, completely healthy Austrian units. Didn't even take part in the battle. Seeing all his friends being routed, still being in there. Yeah, the Danish now control this house, firing at anyone who's fleeing. And at this point, Apollo here decided to make a parade, and Stoner, I don't know what Stoner is doing. He's moving his troops all the way back, messing up the beautiful lines that Apollo made while he was doing so. Yeah, this is I will cut to the victory screen. Okay, so here we go. We can here see how many troops were deployed, and we see that the pacifists got the most kills. Absolutely did. I only lost 203 men because I didn't really partook in any aggressive actions right until the end, but I did kill a lot. Most of them were already fleeing units, I think, or just with my cavalry trying to break units who couldn't from square. Stoner got some decent kills as well. Apollo also committing late, also got a lot of kills. And these guys, yeah, they brought a lot of men as well. And they just got overwhelmed by one player, basically, who just wrecked everyone who came across. See some units. So yeah, here we see it. Cavalry doing absolutely amazing work. Look here. Losing 4 men, but killing 360. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here, these infantry units, 0 kills, very low amounts of kills, 0 kills there. And we have some which did pretty well. The Swiss also got like 60 kills. But yeah, the cavalry did the job there for me. But overall, a great battle. It's yeah, it was very one-sided, but there's a lot to be learned from some battles like this. So enjoy, Stoner. Here's your battle. Mwah.